This will be a how-to video on setting up routes inside of VT3000. The routes are sets of escalations with outputs on each escalation, as well as a time difference or how much time to elapse in between before we go to the next level. These are used in our communications for when we set up alarms and that type of thing. So from your welcome page, you're going to go to the core software. Where you want to be is under routing. So we can select that here, or we can use our icons. So configuration, routing. You can have a page here. Any existing routes that you have will list out here. For us, we want to do add. We want to give it a name. Test route. Repeat last escalation. That refers to if I have 3 levels of escalation, what do I do when I get to that third one and there's not a fourth one? The answer is I repeat so that the personnel or the outputs that are on that third escalation over and over and over again until someone acknowledges. If I uncheck this, it will basically reach that third level. It will tell them that there's help needed, but it will not repeat the message again. It'll just stop. Sending communications always. So if you have a shift that's set up as 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., it's going to send communications out to that in that time frame. This is what the output is basically selected to their availability, right? So it will set that up like that. If I click only during scheduled time, so what this will do is if there's a break in that 6 to 2, so like say 9:15, 9:30, by selecting this and selecting that schedule, it essentially will not send them messages during that break time, lunchtime, whatever that is. Well, for me is I want it to always go out. I want to repeat on that last escalation. Check that. Then I want to click on my tab for escalations. I want to select to add a new escalation. This duration is how long do I wait until I go to the next escalation on my list? Or in the case of it's the last escalation, it's how long do I wait till I repeat these messages to the people on this escalation. So you can get a selection of all here, which will show everything. And click on them and add them. The other way you can do it is by type. So cell phones, right? You can add email addresses, same way. Select all. The other way you can do is like for a search. So if you're looking for a specific person, so for me, I have John Doe set up. So if I do John Doe, hit find. I can like click and select all and hit add, or just individually. We'll go back to this method. So for my first route, just say I want to add these guys. So this duration is 300 seconds. So when I add my next level, it's going to show me 5 minutes later. It's going to give me a new one. So as you can see, it's saying after 5 minutes, because that's what I have for this one is 300. So for this one, I'm going to set this up as 10 minutes, so 600. Come down here, I can select who I want for this route or escalation, sorry. So once that I have this set up, then I can add my next one. And what I'll see is it populate as 15 minutes because that's a total elapsed time, right? So this went on initially, it waited 5 minutes, it called these people. I told it to wait 10 minutes before we called these people. So now you have a total elapsed time of 15 minutes. Here, add them. Now I have all of my escalations set up. You can manipulate these by this will delete the escalation. This one will just copy it or duplicate it here. This one will put it on a clipboard. And then when you were in another route, you could basically paste the same escalation using this button. This allows you to move these up and down in the order. So like if I was like, oh no, actually I want the guys that are on this one to actually get it first, just click that and it'll move it up. And now we'll have those that we had as second are now first. And as you can see, this changed too because I have the 10-minute time frame in that route, in that escalation. The other way you can do, or the other adjustment you can make, I'm sorry, is you can select this override output availability. So if you click this, now these or outputs or people are going to get messages all the time. It's not going to pay any attention to what their availability is on their output that you set up. So you probably don't want to do that in case it's a weird situation where they need to know at any time, maybe possibly in an emergency. Anyway, so I'm going to uncheck that. This description is an optional thing. You don't have to put anything in there. Once you have your route set up, you're just going to hit save and exit. And now this is going to show up here in your list where you can edit it if you need to later. That will conclude our video on setting up a route. Look forward to talking to you again.